The Black Ops 6 open beta has now came to an end, so I thought it would be a good idea to rank the maps that we were able to experience during the beta. To start everything off, we're going to go with the map named Scud, and I'm putting Scud straight into D tier. I really don't like this map in the slightest. Even my friends don't like this map. Anyone I've heard about speaking about this map don't like it, and I have a reason to why. I feel like this map just influences camping quite a lot. Now, if your playstyle is camping, nothing against you. Jokes, I despise you. But regardless, if that's your playstyle, whatever, man. You know, you like playing the game that way, it's whatever. Me personally, I hate camping, and I feel like it takes the fun out of things quite a bit. And I feel like this map influences a lot of camping. Therefore, a lot of the fun is taken out for me because of that. I feel like people with that playstyle, you know, this map kind of plays in towards it a lot more. Anyone who's a camper will probably love this map. Me, I don't like it. I feel like, you know, you have one corner, you got that little hut. On the opposite corner, you have the big satellite, and everyone seems to be standing by that satellite, not wanting to move. But not only that, they feel like the cover in this map isn't the best. The cover isn't the best, and, you know, in order to get to cover, it can take a bit of time to get to. So I'm not a big fan of it. I feel like that's the reason why not many people like running about on this map, because there's no reason to. You know, you got that big satellite, you got plenty of cover around the satellite, you got underneath the satellite, you got the base underneath it as well, and then you got that little spawn point where someone's running up their little incline. You got a perfect way to shoot them, and I feel like there's too much cover with the satellites. Everyone just loves being around that little part, and anyone going against it is kind of, you know, they're kind of fighting a losing battle at that point, if I'm being completely honest. Again, not really a big fan of this map. Feel like it's quite dull as well, quite dull, boring, stale, vanilla. There's nothing really to it. Very grey, very just toned down. Nothing memorable about this map. Just very unforgettable. I'm not a fan of this map in the slightest. I just feel like it really doesn't really show off the new addition of the movement. You know, they're very big on this Omni movement, and I feel like with this map, it doesn't show off that new movement. You know, when you get this new toy you want to show off to the fans, it's not doing that because everyone's just camping. You know, you can't really show off this new movement system if people are camping. So I'm not really a fan of the map Scud. I think it's quite abysmal, and it goes in the D tier for me. The next map that we're going to be ranking is Rewind, and we're going to put it in C tier. Now, I actually think when this map's actually flowing nicely and you're having a good game and things are actually going well within this map, again, spawns being decent, you know, it's just flowing quite nicely, and obviously your opposition plays a part in this and how you're performing. I think this can be in B tier, but my main issue with this is a classic 3-lane map, and then you take out the 2 side lanes in a sense, because the middle lane is where you mainly go through. I'm talking about obviously like the shop or whatever it is. I don't know what it is exactly. You know, that middle one, and then the 2 side lanes, they're just way too open in my opinion. You've got the diner on one side, and then the opposite side you got like the back streets, you could call it. I don't know what you want to call it. You just got that one straight line with like a few trucks in between, and that's about it from what I remember. Just, that's my main thing with this one. It's just, you know, it's meant to be a 3-lane map, but then 2 of the lanes are just kind of, you know, you're very open and exposed. There's not too much cover. I know you got the diner, which isn't too bad. I just feel like with the diner, you know, you can get to, from one side it's a bit easier to get to, on the opposite side it's not so easy to get to. It's very open, whereas the opposite side it's not so much, which kind of makes it unfair. You know, if you're spawning on that side, because you can just get to this diner quite, you know, easily compared to the opposite side. But I don't know, I feel like even the middle part is just okay. Like, you know, you got a lot of sections within there. You got the shop getting through the glass, you got the back end shops, which no one really uses. It's just an okay map. I feel like it can flow well at times. Sometimes the spawns fuck up as well. The left hand side is just way too open. The diner bit is just a bit open as well, and you get and even when you do go through the diners, usually it's just someone camping around the corner, unfortunately. But there's a lot of people who like to travel through the main part, so if you get a lot, you can get a lot of action in the middle part of the map. But for me, it just goes into C tier. I think it's I don't think it's ideally unique. I don't think it's that unique in the slightest. I think it's just a solid map. Don't think it deserves to go in the D tier. I think maybe if I was feeling a bit better, maybe I'd go on a into B tier. But for me, it goes into C tier. I just think it's an okay map. Next up, we have the map what I think is quite controversial. I feel like there's going to be a lot of people who love it, and there's going to be a lot of people who absolutely despise it. For me, it's slap bang in the middle, and that is Babylon. I'm going to put it in B tier. I like this map quite a bit. Now, straight up, it's like Shipment. If you like Shipment, you will more than likely like this map. I don't see how you could like Shipment and not like this map. I like this map a lot. Very fast paced, which is what I want in Call of Duty. You know, for the slower paced first person shooters, I always went with Battlefield. But when it came to the fast pace, I always came to COD. And COD at heart is a fast paced shooter. And I think this is a great map for it. You know, it's very fast paced. There's a lot of action which you want as well, because obviously you don't want to be running around for ages, not being able to find anyone, and just very stale and boring. That is not the case with this map. It's very quickly to find people. You know, you spawn in, you find people. It's very fun, very fast paced, a lot of action. But when I talk about spawn, then, you know, you spawn in and you find someone. Great. However, on the flip side, what really hurts this map is the spawning, and I don't know if I should, you know, put it in. Yeah, I feel like the spawning in general with all the maps are really bad. I feel like this is something that needs to be fixed with the spawning, but on this map it's really, really bad. In like one of the corners where one of the spawn points is, you can just keep getting killed and keep spawning in that exact same like little, I don't want to call it a room, but it's like a little mini building in the corner. You will just keep on spawning there, and it's just so frustrating because you can't really do anything about it. You'll have people camping on like the right side with the stairs, or sitting underneath like the little rock thing, camping there, or, you know, if you've got people waiting by the stairs, camping there. You know, you've got so many ways to kill you, so many eyes, so many people in so many different areas. It's kind of almost impossible to get out of that little spawning point and actually run around and make an effort to maybe capture another flag, and, you know, something like that you can't really do because you're just stuck in that spawning point, and it's so annoying, especially if you are the losing team. You're just getting spawn killed, and it's not enjoyable in the slightest. There's no real, you know, chance of getting out of that situation. You are pretty much fucked, and it is unfortunate. I feel like this is the big down point of the map, not only this map but the whole maps in general. I'm trying not to think about it too much, but during my beta experience, it's kind of hard not to talk about this. It's quite bad spawns on this one. I know there are always going to be bad spawns on like a Shipment like map, you know, a very small map where there's always action happening. I know the spawns are genuinely quite crap on them, but on this one it is really bad. Again, I really like the map. I feel like with all of these maps, they're a bit stale and bland, which I do take into account. You know, I didn't say it's about Rewind, but Rewind, there's nothing really unique. I'd say it's a lot more unique. Well, not even unique. I'd say it has a bit more of an identity than Scud, and same goes for Babylon. It has a bit more of an identity than Scud. It has a bit of an identity, you know, with the whole castle. Is it a castle? I don't know. With the building based in the middle, and you go up the stairs. You know, you got a 4-way to enter. You got 4 sets of stairs. I think it's okay. I think it's a decent map. Maybe you could put this in like a C tier. I'm being a bit generous here, I feel like, because I do, when I play this map, I do tend to enjoy myself a fair bit. But yeah, Babylon goes into the B tier for me. Next up, we have my favourite map from the Black Ops 6 beta, and that is Skyline, and it's going straight into the top part of B tier. Now, that is my favourite out of the one. I think it's the best one, me personally. I feel like it flows the best out of all of the others. But I feel like the whole map quality from the beta is quite poor. So if you wanted to knock these all down, I would completely understand, because I feel like I'm being maybe a bit generous here. But I actually really did like Skyline. I really did. I think it flows well. It's a good mansion. I just feel like I put it in B tier, not A tier or something like that. I'm not even going to talk about S tier because that's disrespectful. But I feel like I put it in B tier, not like A tier. I just feel like none of these maps have a really good, like, unique identity. I just feel like they're just there. They're not really super memorable in my opinion, like previous maps that we've had in the past with other Call of Duty titles. I don't think we get that with this beta so far. I know we've only had 5 maps, but with any of the maps, I don't feel like any of them really stand out for the right reasons and stand out in your brain because you enjoy them so much or they're so unique or anything like that. They're all pretty dull in my opinion. This one is probably the least dull, if you ask me. You've got the mansion, the swimming pool, the underground part, the kitchen, multiple different rooms to go in. I feel like it flows quite well, like I've said a few times now. I like it how you have that long hallway, you know, people pick each other off from there. Maybe if you want to risk it and run down that pathway, you know, you've got no cover in that pathway, so in that hallway, sorry. So if you want to risk it and go down there and chance it, maybe 2 people might come and take it out. It's a risk you have to take. I like that. You got the whole part of the swimming pool, not much cover there really, apart from like, I don't know what it is. It the swimming pool? I don't know what it is, but yeah, you can just go prone and get a bit of cover there. That bit's a bit stinky. You got the whole kitchen part. I like the kitchen part, I think it is. You know, you got a fair bit of cover with spaces where there isn't loads of cover, so it's quite even and fair in my opinion. You got the upstairs part of the room as well. That's okay. You got the staircase, and I think it's an okay map. I also like the addition of the underground part. I just feel like it breaks up the map a fair bit. You know, it's not your classic, you go this way, this way, this way. You know, you can actually maybe get under them, flank them. I like that addition to it. I mean, the underground part itself isn't the best, so it's not like hijacked Black Ops 2, you know, where you can actually fight people. Like, obviously you can fight people and, you know, stuff like that. I don't feel like it's that great. I think it adds a bit more to it. I feel like they could have done a bit better of the underground part. I just think it adds a bit more to the map, though. I think as an overall, the underground part does benefit the map a fair bit. I've always been like someone who likes to flank, and I feel like the underground part does help a fair bit. The security bit with like the doors and that, not sure what I think about that, if I'm being honest. You know, I don't know if you can use other security parts. I think you might be able to, but from what I'm aware of from my time in the beta, you could only access the security part through the underground part, and it's quite a trek away. So if you're playing hard point, something like that, and the hard point goes on that room where, you know, you have the shutter doors. If you wanted that activated, you'd have to have someone to go or yourself to go and access that underground. I just feel like it's a bit of a trek. Still a very solid map. I do think it's the best one, and I feel like it is because it flows the best, and I think it shows off the movement the best. And then we have the last map, and obviously that is Derelict, and I'm going to put it straight in to D tier. I cannot stand this map. In fact, let me give you my notes that I wrote down for this map. It's very brief. I hate it, exclamation mark. So many fucking containers. Too much shit everywhere. And that is my problem with this map. It feels like it's overwhelming to an extent. There's just so many containers. There's so much going on. I feel like there's barely any open space. There's so much cover. You know, it's in like this jungle infested place. It's just quite bland. Like, I don't think that helps. You got that building. There's a lot of camping involved on this one. People still run around. Don't get me wrong. It's not as bad as Scud when it comes to the camping, but there's still a fair bit of it. You know, you got that little rock you can hide behind where you come around. I just don't like this map in the slightest. I didn't get on with this map at all. I've heard a lot of people say that if you don't like Derelict, and I'm a part of that bandwagon. I really can't stand this map at all. It's quite a small map. I actually think it's smaller than what people actually remember. It's quite, you know, it's a very small map. It's quite congested. Again, there's just too much stuff going on in my opinion, and that's what ruins this map. I really can't stand this map in the slightest. You know, you can be on top of the containers, you can be inside the container, you can be on the outside of the container, you can be behind a wall onto that building. There's little I got someone was camping against me and was shooting for like one of the containers. Oh mate, I can't even describe it. Unfortunately, I haven't got the footage of it, but I really don't like this map. I just think it's awful. Maybe you guys think completely different to me. Before anyone hounds me about my opinions on these, remind yourself, these are opinions. You might really like Derelict, you know, you might be slow in the head and really like Derelict. No, I'm taking the piss. If you like Derelict, fair enough. If you like Scud, fair enough. For me, it's just not, I'm just not really fond of it. And when it comes to these maps as a whole, I just think it's just not that good. I feel like there isn't really any enthusiasm. I just feel like it's quite dull creatively. I just feel like they're all very bland. This is like, it's just the most vanilla set of maps I've played in a while. Like with Black Ops 3 beta, I remember the Black Ops 3 beta like it was yesterday, because I love that beta so much. You had a good selection of maps. Can't remember the map names because I've never been good at remembering map names, but I had a good selection. Black Ops 6, I don't feel like you get a good selection. I feel like all the maps are pretty poor, and if that's what we're getting going into the entire game, and all the maps are going to be like this, well then we're a bit fucked for a while until maybe we get some new maps involved. But when that is the case, I feel like a lot of the player base just drop off quite soon, and I don't know, just nothing really stands out to me. I think it's all quite bad. Derelict is absolutely awful in my opinion. I can't stand it. Scud, I can't stand. Rewind, I think is just bearable, and then Babylon and Skyline are just okay maps in my opinion, and are the better maps of this beta. But let me know what you guys think about the maps. You guys might absolutely love the maps, you might absolutely despise the maps. Let me know what you guys think about the maps on the Black Ops 6 beta. And that is my opinion about the maps on Black Ops 6. Let me know what you guys think about the maps. Have you enjoyed the beta? Have you had a good time of it? Have you cried and raged a bit, looking very silly? I certainly have. Let me know if you can relate to me on that aspect. Let me know what you guys think about the beta. Thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.